2024 in terms of cinema has been a great year. Overall, the box office is getting healthier again, back to its original form, and audiences are starting to become more receptive to new ideas, or ideas that aren't just schlock. And it seems like we're back on the pre-coronavirus trend when it comes to filmmaking, and honestly, that's the best thing we can have right now. 2024 had an amazing catalog of movies, and I was unable to see them all, but I think I was able to see enough where I can get a fine taste for what it had in store for us. And here are my top 10 films of the year. Starting off our list at number 10 is Beetlejuice. I'm not a big fan of the original Beetlejuice. I'm not fond of it. I think it's slow, I think it's boring, I don't really enjoy it too much, and I just feel like all the fun parts of the Beetlejuice mythos are kind of just short-lived. Beetlejuice takes everything from the original, 33, however long it's been since the original film, and takes what the good pieces of the Beetlejuice mythos and whatever, and kind of just shoves it in your face. And I mean in the best way possible. It is a fun, charismatic piece of media. And honestly, it improves on each and every part of Beetlejuice. It gives us the human aspect to it very well. I think the relationship between Lydia and her daughter is fantastic. Even Catherine O'Hara's character and their relationship of it as the trifecta make it perfect. It goes into the afterlife. We get to see more of that part of things, as we didn't get to see all the bits and pieces of it. You're a great villain in Beetlejuice's ex-wife, and it's just an all-around fun time, and it's very, very, it knows what it is, and it doesn't shy away from what it is. And I will be the biggest critic of Tim Burton, but he, I think, found his groove again after a few years of kind of just bad movies. Tim Burton has found where he belongs again. I think going forward, we can see a lot more better Tim Burton if he continues on what he did here with Beetlejuice. I think Beetlejuice is fantastic. Number 9 is Twisters. I loved Twisters coming out of the theater, and it's not for like any like significant like cinematic like abrasive film bro bullshit. Honestly, Twisters is what I've wanted from cinema for a long time, because we've gotten away from it since the superhero boom occurred. It's just kind of like fun, just general fun, just dumb fun, like frat boy fun. And it's made up for Glenn Powell's and Glenn Powell's very, very attractive, and same with Daisy Edgar Jones. But you know what, that's what it is. The original Twister was a lot of fun. It was that 90s like just kind of like film thing, and it became a classic for that reason. And Twisters builds off that, doesn't really suck away from the original and just make it the same film, but it just builds upon it, the original IP, and just says, let's have some fucking fun with it. It's a disaster movie. I don't like disaster movies. There's a reaction video out there of me seeing the original Twisters trailer that came out after the Super Bowl, and me just not enjoying it. But this film proved me wrong. I enjoyed every single bit of this. It's just that summer blockbuster fun, and it's the best way I can explain why it's so high, is that I just had a lot of fucking fun. That's what it is. It's fun, and honestly, I don't think there's much more explanation behind that. Number 8 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Wow, we're opinion. I can already feel people like there's much better movies. There probably was. I didn't watch every movie that came out this year, sadly, but Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I think is a fine film. Like, it's finally made, it's really good, but it's the fun aspect of things. I think that if you can give me a movie where I come out of it cheering and wanting to see more and just needing more of it, I think you've hit it right. And I've been on a Sonic kick, and this, again, it could be just recency bias. I saw it a few weeks ago, and I'm still on the Sonic kick. So I think that the film did its job by giving us a really good film of emotional storytelling with Shadow, fun comedy with the Sonic Gang. Jim Carrey kicks ass as Robotnik, as he always does, and he also plays another Robotnik, and it's just a fun time. And honestly, the Sonic franchise is in a spot where it could save franchises, if that makes sense. A lot of franchises kind of just, after a few movies, they just take it on their own and they're like, we're going to do what the hell we want with this, and we're going to make every bad decision that we can with it, and we're not going to listen to the fans. And Sonic the Hedgehog, the series, has just kind of listened to the fans in the best way possible. And that's what I get from it. Every time I watch a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and this movie in particular, it listened to everything the fans wanted, and it didn't shy away from it, and it came out with a product that is just absolute fun and, as the kids say, peak. It's just a lot of fun, and I so enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's still on in theaters. Please go watch it. Anytime I hear someone be like, I want to go to the movies, I'm like, Sonic, go watch fucking Sonic. Sonic is fucking dope. Number 7 is Lisa Frankenstein. This came out in February of this year. It is a dark comedy romance film that is filled with Catherine Newton just doing Catherine Newton things. She was also in Abigail that I covered earlier this year in a review, but she's fucking fantastic in everything she does, especially in comedy roles, and especially when she can do that in a dark comedy setting. She's really a scream queen at this point, but she used that scream queen aspect to also lean into comedic aspects to it, because she's still the best part of Abigail, and she shines here as well as the titular character. And it comes back to, not only is this a good movie, it's a fucking fantastic film. From a script, from a comedy perspective, it's just a lot of fucking fun. And that's what 2024 was. It was a lot of fucking fun, and I'm so happy we're back to fun films, because sometimes a film doesn't need to be this masterpiece, or doesn't need to be this billion-dollar film. It can just be fun. It doesn't need to have any extra layers. I believe it's Cole Sprouse who plays the monster, and he isn't given any lines, and he can still perfectly animate his feelings and everything. He's just so good, and it brings me back to the John Hughes type comedy of age films. And it mixes that with the gothic horror nature of it, and it makes this perfect little fuck up, ugly mess, and I love it. It's adorable, and I adore Lisa Frankenstein. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times this year already, and every time I watch it, I come back picking up on new jokes that I didn't see the first time, and it's just a lot of fucking fun, and it's just so endearing and touching. I quite fucking enjoy it, and in a year where I was not looking for like romantic bullshit, this kind of brought it back. It's very romantic in a way. It's a weird romanticism, but it's a great romanticism. Number 6 is Gladiator 2. I'm not a huge fan of the first Gladiator. I'm also not a huge fan of Ridley Scott. It mixes the drama and the gravitas of the first film and just kind of amps it up in a way. And it's a lot to do with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is in this film. He doesn't do the whole Greek accent and everything like that. It's fucking Denzel. I'll give him a pass. It's fucking Denzel. He doesn't need to do this shit. I love Denzel. And he brings this quite moxie and like, I don't know. He's like this perfect villain for this story. And Paul Mescal, who is now on my chart of like, hey, keep an eye on this guy, because while Gladiator 2 is an immense success, and he is the main character of the film, I want to keep my eyes on what else he wants to do, because if he's in it for the love of the game, we got a fucking generational guy in it. If he's looking for a bag, we could still, but like, I don't know. But Gladiator 2 mixes the drama with the political intrigue of it, and it makes this film where you kind of just are at the edge of your seats at every single second of the film. And I haven't had one of those in quite some time. It pulls one string and moves another at the same time, and it's a really well made fucking film. Also built its own little legacy, and I can easily see why everyone else loved this, and I can easily see why I loved it. It's just a dope time, and it's one of those films where I may not watch it for another 5 years, but when I watch it again, I'd be like, why haven't I watched this in 5 years? It's one of those type of films. And number 5 is Alien Romulus. I covered this earlier this year, and not much has changed. I fucking love this film. It mixes Alien with aliens, and it has no fucking. It breaks every barrier you would think. It comes up with the fucky monster, like the fucked up monsters. Like, if you've seen Alien Romulus and you get to the end of the film, you're not like, what the fuck was that? You didn't watch the film. Because what the fuck was that? I'm also a huge Alien fan. If you can't tell, I'm a huge Alien fan. And this kind of took everything from Prometheus and Alien Covenant, that whole like backstory of the aliens, and kind of mixed it together with the original series. And I think this is a perfect bridge point in Aliens history where you can do that, because not many people liked it. I didn't really like the prequel stuff. The original stuff is kind of like, ooh, can we touch that? And honestly, you can. And I think Romulus did that perfectly. And it took what originally was there from Alien and Aliens, and just improved upon it, and also mixed in what was good from Covenant and good from Prometheus. And it made for a weird ass time, a fun ass time, a creepy ass time, and all around a dope film. Number 4 is the film I pushed this off for. I didn't get to see Nosferatu right away, but Nosferatu is fucking dope. I love Robert Eggers. The Northman made my top 10 in 2022. The Witch is one of my favorite films of all time, and I didn't like The Lighthouse. Shout out to Julian Fates, but I can see what everyone was like, would have liked from there. And Nosferatu kind of keeps that track, and it kind of just fucks. Literally and metaphorically, it just fucks. It doesn't. It knows what it is. It knows what Nosferatu is, and it builds upon it. It's creepy as fuck. It scared me a few times with some good jump scares. And Bill Skarsgård plays a mustached vampire, which I think is funny as fuck in the first place, but also dope as fuck. And it's just a really creepy and all-around unsettling movie, and I think that also helps by its setting in the 1830s Germany of all places. But like I just enjoy every single second of this film, and it's so fucking good. Aaron Taylor Johnson, which I'll talk about in another video, but he is doing such a good job in every role he's in. Yes, even Craven. Whatever he's given, he's just kind of a standout, and he knows what to do to make that character shine. And he hits it right in the head here. Nicholas Holt's on a weird run too, where he's just kind of hitting bangers, like home runs after home run. Lily Rose Depp, I originally did not think she could act after the Idol debacle that happened a few years ago, but can she fucking act? Holy shit, she is literally the standout of this film, and she's what makes this movie go. Because if you don't believe in her performance, the whole movie falls apart, and goddamn, it does this movie fucking fuck. Man, I've said fuck in this film, in this review a lot. Number 3 is Longlegs. Longlegs is weird because I have not revisited it, and I wanted to revisit it before this video, but I just said, you know what, if it's still in my mind like this, I gotta put it here. Longlegs is the Silence of the Lambs mixed with Satan, and honestly, the idea sounds weird, but honestly, it makes for a perfectly creepy time. I think Satan existing in like what the Catholics say he is in our real earth and having this boy on our plane is creepy in the first place. But having Nicolas Cage play this character of Longlegs mixed with Michael Moreau's character, and their interaction and their chemistry, and kind of just like this overwhelming feeling of dread throughout the whole film. And that's also done by Osgood Perkins, like cinematography. I love how this is shot because it makes me so uncomfortable because everything is centered. And while I love good centering on a film, sometimes films aren't really properly centered, and that's okay. And that kind of brings some authenticity and kind of like makes it feel like, okay, this isn't like we're just like looking through a lens of things. Here, it's perfectly centered in almost every frame, and it's fucking creepy, and I love it. Nicolas Cage gives one of his best performances. This isn't his best performance, and everyone's like, Longlegs is his like best character in a while. Nicolas Cage fucks when it comes to characters. He is literally a amazing character actor. If you give him a character, he'll do wonders with that. And Longlegs is up there, but goddamn, is he creepy? Is the whole film creepy? It's just this whole unsettling aura, and like you get that from The Silence of the Lambs, and this is less cannibal and more Satanism, and I think that's creepier to me personally. And oh man, Longlegs is so fucking good, man. And it's one of those, I was in the theater by myself. I'm going on a little tangent here. Hopefully I won't cut this. I was in the theater by myself, and when we hit the credits, I wasn't waiting for anything because they start hitting this creepy ass theme. Throughout the whole film, I'm having goosebumps. But once that theme hit in, when they hit the credits, just all the hair stood up on my back and on my arms. It was just, whoo, fuck this shit, man. Like I'm good. I ran out of the theater. I was like, top 10 of the year. Like, almost no doubt. They're like, unless they come up with fucking 10 million bangers, Longlegs is up there. And here it is at number 3. Number 2 is We Live in Time. Sorry, I keep calling it We Live in a Time, and I don't know why. Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield's drama. I don't know what to call it, but this film is such an emotional journey. Because they do not shy with telling you she has cancer. She had cancer. And their journey from the start of the relationship to the end, and their character dynamics and everything. This film feels so human, and it feels so organic with everything it goes through. And man, like, I knew Florence Pugh was gonna die. You can look at my Twitter. I'm like, this film is gonna destroy me. It's gonna make but I was prepared for it. And if you go into a film prepared for something, you likely come out with it without having that initial reaction. But somehow We Live in Time made me feel so many fucking emotions. It's not even fucking funny. I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out for about 3 hours after the film. After I got out of the film, simply just because of the ending. And it's just such a human. I'm tearing up from talking, thinking about it. But We Live in Time is such a human film, and I don't know, it's one of those films I want to recommend to everyone, and be like, this is an integral film to humanity, and to feel human, to be a human being and enjoy the art of filmmaking. You have to watch We Live in Time. And I'm like, but also I don't want you to feel what I felt, because I want you to feel what I felt, but I don't want you to feel what I felt, because it was such a devastating. It broke down every fucking barrier of emotional vulnerability I had, and it just said, fuck you, here's your fucking, go get some tissues, It was just, it's one of those films, man. I don't want to even tell you about any particular piece besides Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield's dynamic is fucking phenomenal in this film. And it's just one of those films where you gotta watch it, and you gotta feel every single second of it to understand what I'm talking about. Grayson, you say We Live in Time is such this human and pivotal piece of watching film and everything like that, and you're telling us that it's one of those all-time films, but it's number 2? Yeah, that's the thing. Anora is fucking awesome. Anora, in this poorly, drawn out skit that thought of it about in 2 seconds. Anora is my number 1 film of the year. It is such a fucking chaotic time in every second of this film. And I'm not a very chaotic person. I don't really search for the club scene or whatever, and I don't really know much about that. But Anora is a story about a prostitute who marries a rich Russian oligarch. It doesn't seem like it's that in-depth initially. I was watching the film, and even in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, where am I gonna rank this? Is this above what film? And I'm like, this is gonna be probably 5, 6. It's fucking funny. It's chaotic. It's amazing. Mikey Madison hits it out of the fucking park. And when we got to the end of the film, I'm like, okay, this is solidly probably top 5. And then the ending scene, which a lot of people question, why did this happen? Why did this happen? It kind of wrapped the film up in a nice bow. It just, everything after that point just spoke to me. Every moment in this film spoke to me, and it is such a nicely told story about, you know, wanting to belong, wanting to succeed in life, wanting to be loved. And it does that under the veil of a chaotic comedy. And there's not many films that can successfully do that. And Nora fucking nails it. Mikey Madison deserves any Oscars coming away, and I hope to God she gets so many fucking awards. I think she is leading currently the award categories when it comes to things, but she deserves a fucking Oscar. I will fight someone if she doesn't give the Oscar. If it's not her, it's Florence Pugh. It's one of those two people, and I'm perfectly fine with it goes to either one, but I feel like Mikey Madison deserves it more this year because of her performance in Nora. And it's one of those films that I didn't think that the Academy would appreciate, but the Academy seems that they're going to start appreciating, or like the general like schnobs are appreciating. And it's a fun time, but also like it's one of those movies where you get out of the theater and you kind of just like sit there and be like, damn, that's a fucking film. And Nora's a fucking film. Like, honestly, it's fucking fantastic. 2024 was a weird year for me, personally, and I don't want to go into details because no one wants to hear about my personal life. But my year sort of hella bad, and it just got better and better as every day I went on, and I want to continue that into 2025. Like, every day I wanted to get better, because every day gets better. Eventually, everything will come up, you know, right. And that's what happened in 2024. I eventually came up right, and I've been successful here in a weird way when I wasn't even posting that much, and I appreciate every single one of you by being patient and enjoying what I had put out. But also with Dueling Fates that I've been doing on a weekly basis with my friend Geek. It's a movie podcast. Go check it out. Very fun. And the Curbstone podcast, we've been successful there. And everything feels like it's wrapped up really nicely for 2024. And 2024 strangely became one of my best years I can remember in recent history. And then we moved into 2025. And with 2025, I don't have resolutions. I don't like resolutions. I feel like they're really poor. It's like, just start now. Whenever the time is when you're thinking about changing as a person, just start now. And honestly, that just kind of turned around near the year for me. I want to put out more content on a consistent basis. I don't know what the consistent basis is just yet, but I want to, and I'm going to. And that's the goal for 2025. Put out consistent content for you guys, whether it's wrestling, whether it's movies, whether it's anime, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. I just want to put stuff out for you guys. I want you guys to enjoy what I want to talk about, because this started off as a gaming channel. I moved off that. I just want to talk about what I love and just share my opinions and my thoughts and what I want to tell you guys on a consistent basis. And whether that's short form, if TikTok survives, or YouTube Shorts, or whatever that is, or if that's in full form, long form content like you're enjoying right now. I just want to put it out. And I don't know how it's going to work out right now, but that's the goal. I have a few ideas rummaging in my mind, and I'm hoping to get that out to you guys soon as possible. But I want to thank you guys for a wonderful 2024, even though I wasn't around very much. And I'm hoping for even better 2025. I hope you guys have a great new year. I hope you guys enjoy the films of 2024, and I can't wait to bring this video to you guys next year.